David Weigand, 10-minute daily reality check. Holy shit, this is a weekend that, well, we thought would be a weekend about the New England Patriots and some of the football teams, but it seems like Star Wars conversation. I'm telling you, yesterday's podcast is being spread all over the internet. Keep spreading. If you did not listen to it, you will hear about the Jedi mind trick that women and that men use on women. But I'll tell you, my phone has been blowing up. My friends have been hearing it. My Twitter's been blowing up. My Instagram's blowing up. I mean, everything is blowing up. People are sending me private messages. They're not even posting publicly because they say, David, what causes these men to do these Jedi mind tricks? And the answer really, truly is we're doing it ourselves first. We're fucking kidding ourselves first. I remember I was with somebody and I was sharing this story with a couple of guys the other day. And I remember I was with somebody and she was really amazing. She was cute and she was adorable and she was amazing. You guys hear I'm convincing myself right now? She was really amazing. I mean, I really should fucking like her. So I did. I really liked her. And I'm like, she does nothing wrong. It's like, boy, I love her. She does nothing wrong. And I was with her. And I knew that she did nothing wrong. And I felt guilty because she did nothing wrong. And I convinced myself how great she was because it was easy. She was fucking great. But deep down to my core, I was not physically attracted to her 100%. I was about 60% attracted to her. And it wasn't that she wasn't pretty. She was a pretty girl. It wasn't that she wasn't sweet and loving. She was the most loving, sweet person I was ever with up until that point. But every time I looked at her, I did not, and I'm going to put it fucking bluntly, I did not want to fuck her at all. At all. I didn't think of her as a naughty girl. I didn't think of her anything. She did not drive me crazy. I did not like that. So what did I do? I Jedi mind tricked myself. I convinced myself that this is what I should be with because it's the voice inside our head from years past that your mother tells you or your grandmother or your grandfather or your father or some wise uncle or you read it somewhere that you can't have everything. There's that saying, and we seem to do that in everything in life. You can't have everything. There's no perfect job. Yeah, there's no perfect business. There's no perfect woman. Relationships are hard work. You know, all these things that you hear all the time, right? All these misconceptions. There is no perfection in life, but to tell you the truth, there is that great person for you and that great job for you and the great everything else. And the fact is relationships aren't hard work at all. It should be the most enjoyable work in the world to grow with somebody. When there's conflict in a relationship, you should look at it and just go, hey, we got conflict right now. Well, let's work through this together. And it should be joyous because we're going to have new beginnings. So think about in your lifetime, and let's be honest, because women are enjoying this purge. Gentlemen, start your brains, okay? We got a little crack out of Michael's face. Obi's dying to share, okay? Let's be really honest. I mean, you know, to me, every time I perform the Jedi mind trick on a woman, I perform the Jedi mind trick on myself more than everything else. And that starts the whole relationship off on a Jedi fucking mind trick.
Yeah. I'm having a lot of internal things happening right now in this moment. Because I feel like I did that recently. Even though I talk about not doing it, I really don't do it very often. I think maybe it's like a trigger, or maybe there's something that happens where it's like an automatic response in ways, you know, to like get out of having to be fully honest in the moment, you know, and like you said, even to yourself about what it is that you actually want, even though you really know it, but you kind of allow some gray area. You kind of allow some grayness maybe for some reason.
You know what? Let's be honest, right? Michael, a woman shows up on a date, okay? And just one sentence says, right? And she shows up and she is not physically exactly what you look for. You don't feel it. And once again, women, please, it doesn't mean every guy is attracted to something different. If you're 100 pounds overweight, there's many men that will find you the sexiest woman in the world. So don't look and just go, well, I just can't have David, Michael, or Obi, so my life is over. We're not exactly the most perfect men in the entire world anyway. So, and that was so egotistical. But think about it, right? A woman shows up and you just don't feel it. You don't feel it at all. You know, your penis is not talking to your brain. They're not in your heart. They're not all getting together on one team and they're going, yay, you know, because the penis and the brain and the heart need to be on one team. Otherwise, what happens is you've got a Belichick, Brady, and Kraft situation going on, right? So, according to Robert Kraft, he forced Bill Belichick to trade Garoppolo. According to Brady, Brady went to Kraft behind Belichick's back. And what happens is you have the typical male-female relationship at this point. So we all have an inner Brady, Garoppolo, and Kraft inside all of us. So if a woman shows up and at the end of the date, you're not fully fucking excited about the way she looks or something else, you know damn well, and she's nice, you know damn well you go home and you're convincing yourself otherwise, I'll just give her another chance and something else. You know damn well that she has to hit you on the fucking Brady, Garoppolo, Kraft, Belichick level or you're fucking done. Yes or no?
I'm not exactly following up because I don't watch football. But
basically, the brain is, I would say the brain, the heart would probably be Brady because he's the quarterback, right? Going instinctual. The sex appeal would probably be Robert Kraft because he's a white guy who gets to fucking, own a football team because that's the ultimate dream, right?
He's talking about conflicts between
right, conflicts. Yeah. And Belichick is definitely the fucking brain, man. Nobody wears a hoodie like him. So I'm talking about the conflicts within yourself, right? When you have internal conflicts, when it's all not lined up, your head is trying to convince yourself that she is something more than you truly want.
I won't go out with her again. I mean, I don't, if I'm not attracted to a woman and...
You're sort of attracted to her.
Like you're attracted to maybe certain parts. Maybe you'd like to, have sex with her, but you probably wouldn't see her as long term or something.
He's got a good smile on his face right now. This is so good if we just had the video cameras out right now.
I think that, if I've ever entered into one of those types of arrangements, it's not been one person expecting a long-term relationship. Well, I'm telling them that I'm going to give that to them. I don't string people along, women along. So
we have one authentic man who is claiming here proof in January of 2018 that he has never strung a woman along.
Wait, but there's certain unwritten expectations that I tend to avoid.
Like what?
Like for instance, if a woman is sleeping with you and wanting to, spend her weekends with you, then there's a chance that she's looking for something more stable. I just avoid that whole conversation, and if it happens, then I won't tell them.
You avoid the actions as well, like you avoid hanging out with them on the weekend. Because wouldn't that
it's not a
them along?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, if we've never had the conversation about, yeah,
it's the philosophy. You're telling yourself, well, we haven't had the conversation, so I'm not stringing her along, even though I'm doing the actions that are stringing her along, and she's gonna feel that way anyway.
That's also you're being presumptive that that's what they want too. I'm coming to find out that not all women want to have. I'm finding out they like to have fun too. So
sure,
just because
but you know what they want.
My relationships just usually fall off. Like when the sex is just done, then it's just not. There's not even a breakup. There's no crying or whatever. I could be pretty cold.
Wait a second. Wait. Do you do a follow-up cry call? Because let me tell you, here's the funny thing, right? Is that you're like, okay, so you're the cliff diver, right? So it's like all of a sudden you're Mr. Breaks, and I love being older than you guys just for one reason, because everything you're doing and everything you're doing, I've done. Believe me, and I have done it. I did it last year where all of a sudden, I was hanging with somebody. Then all of a sudden it's like all of a sudden, boo, she fell right off the cliff. Why? Because you met somebody else. Yeah. And the reason why you met somebody else, you were more fucking attracted to them. Yeah, or they did, exactly. It could work both ways. So really, we're both equally at fault. We're both so afraid to be really fucking authentic. But if a woman is sleeping with you, 99% of the time, she's got a relationship story in her brain about you and her, or about her and the perfect guy, and you might be that guy, right? So what we're doing is that we're allowing each other, we're pushing each other over the cliff, like boom, right? Because it's like the chicken way out, because to be honest, There would be no cliff fucking diving if we fucking were just authentic from the get-go, 1,000%. And that's what we fear, is looking at it. We have opportunities and we know it. If we really go back and the TV show Black Mirror is great. Have you seen Black Mirror?
Of course.
Okay.
I think I was one who put you on it.
You did, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you remember the episode of Black Mirror when they did a recording of their lives, right? And the woman caught the man in the lies and all the other stuff. I mean, imagine like if you actually got to review your face, and this is coming. I mean, we all know shit. Once all the nerds and everybody is done making all their money and internet stuff and everything else. Look, the nerds came up with Bumble and Tinder because they couldn't date, right? They make other reasons for it. Like, I just wanted the playing field to be even. No, you didn't. You wanted the socially awkward to have a chance. And we gave them an opportunity, right? So what happens next? There's going to be Black Mirror because people are going to be tired of people's stories and everything is going to be reviewed. There's going to be cameras in the room. We can be able to review the fucking thing and we're all going to be caught in our lies because we have so much trouble being fucking authentic with ourselves. That's what it comes down to. There's that moment. If I went back to both of you and me being 100% fucking forthright right now, and I look back, I could tell you, Jesus Christ, that was my asshole fucking moment. And you know it when you're driving home. You know it. You leave her house. What do you feel like when you're leaving her house, knowing that you fucking weren't authentic? Yet you and I can sit around and you and I can talk about being these authentic superheroes, right? And then all of a sudden we have these great conversations. And then the next thing you know, the universe is always listening, right? Oh yeah, Michael, Obi, David, they're ready for the moment. And then all of a sudden they throw the moment out there 3 or 4 days later. And there we are in that moment. We go back to whatever Jedi mind trick we were using in our time in our life. We're bullshitting ourselves. That's really what it is. We're bullshitting ourselves because we're either A, trying to protect them, B, we're too afraid to admit the fact that we're dating somebody who we really don't like their face or their body is not exactly. And I got called out by a woman last summer. And she even said 2 weeks into the relationship, she looked at me and said, she goes, I just think I'm too soft for you. You date hard yoga body girls, and no, you're great. Bullshit. If I was really honest with myself, fucking A, you're right. I'm a workout person. I want to date the female equivalent of me, somebody who's ripped and hard, and that's what I like. And if I wasn't a workout person and I had a belly and everything else, I'd be fine with it, right? What the fuck do I care? Because I don't care enough about myself, but I do like to date my equal. And you know what? I bullshitted myself. And then she came up with all these reasons why I wasn't fully attracted to her. And you know what? It showed in the bedroom too. My penis was as fucking flat as a BMW run flat after 50 miles, okay? It was. I had to take fucking testosterone thing. I had to take Yohimbe roots. I mean, I was buzzing nonstop. I had to time it because I didn't want my flat dick. And the reason why? I wasn't attracted to her body. I loved her face, but she called me out on it. That was week 2, and I skated underneath it. And you know what? She was right, because I thought I could convince myself to like her body, because that's a lack of abundance. You can't convince yourself. This woman, she's a beautiful woman. She should have an opportunity for someone to love and adore her the way she needs. What we're doing is we're ripping ourselves off from a better experience, and we're ripping them off by taking them down the road. Why do you think women are so fucking angry? Because men, and women too, women are fucking just as guilty, but men are more guilty of this shit. We pull this shit nonstop.
Why you put the microphone in my face?
Because I knew you had no reaction at all, because it's silence. So we are fucking ending this one today. See you tomorrow. And do me a favor, pass this along to all the people you passed it along yesterday, because this was a good part too. Jedi Mind Trick weekend here on the podcast.